Baruch Hashem.
15th of July, Rabbi Levitt.
Levitt, yes. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about this first. We're going over this first paragraph that we read yesterday about money on page 428. So he brings a pasuk in Mishlei. The tongue of the righteous is like fine money. So we don't understand what that means, but one thing that we could figure out is that we see a spiritual equation over here, which is that we see that the mention of the tongue of a righteous person is like money. So we see a connection between the use of the tongue and the use of money. They're both mentioned in the pasuk. And similarly, in the pasuk in Koheles, it says, shadow of wisdom is the shadow of money. So I don't understand what it means talking about shadows over here. What's a shadow? What's shadow have to do with the whole thing? Okay, something's got to do with it because the pasuk says shadow. But even without understanding that, we could notice that the pasuk is mentioning wisdom and money. So again, we see a spiritual connection between wisdom and money. And that is what the Pele Yoetz is pointing out to us. Take a look and see and reflect that money is compared to the tongue and is compared to wisdom. And what does that mean? This is tremendous what he's saying over here. Now that I finally figured it out, it took some time to take notice of it and look at it. And then he shows us from Gemaras that in all of these matters, these three matters, the tongue, wisdom, and money, they're a trio. They all are a trio. What's the trio? They all have a common denominator. The common denominator is that they, with all of these things, so much such greatness, such good, such spiritual bounty can be achieved for the person and for the whole world in the proper use of these three things. These three things are absolutely vital. Wisdom, Torah wisdom, of course, we understand that. And it creates a new person, and it creates tremendous bracha and atzlacha in the world. And the tongue also. Someone that speaks good words, he can do tremendous things with it. And so too with money. But he also brought from this Gemara in Kedushin the downside. There could be a downside to Torah learning as well. And also the downside to the tongue. The tongue can say great things, and it could also be the proximate cause of Churban Habayis with the tongue. And he's saying that the psukim compare the tongue and wisdom to money. So we see the great power of money, the great power that it has for good, and the great power that it has chas v'sholom the other way. So that's that should be an awakening to us and an inspiration to us to deal with these matters in the correct way, and then there will be great bracha and hatzlacha for us and for all of the world.
Amen.
These three things, wow, amazing.
The last part of the first paragraph says the majority of sins result from a person hotly pursuing money. There's robbery, theft, fraud, gouging, banos, falsehoods, lies, corruption in weights and measures, trespassing, controversy, jealousy, hatred. Majority of sins that a person commits are for the sake of profit, and the sin of desecration of Hashem's name is the most severe. Likewise, someone whose money is valuable to them disregards many mitzvahs, prayers, blessings, and the study of Torah more than anything else. Even when he does fulfill them, they are disqualified due to his rashness and miserliness, and because his heart is not generally with him, for he's focused exclusively on monetary gain. He neglects giving charity and does not do as much as he could have done. With many similarities in wrongdoing result from his attitude to the extent that his wealth becomes an evil trap. He inherits Gehenna because of it, and he descends into the grave.
Yeah, this is what Rebbe Kiva told the questioner who said, if Hashem is so good to everybody, why did he create the poor people? Why do they have to suffer? So he said that Hashem, Rebbe Kiva said, made poor people to save the rich people from Gehenna.
Right,
By the rich people's proper use of their money to use it to give to people that don't have, that is saving them from Gehenna. Because if they're not going to do that, so that's what happens. And a poor person, he's going to have Olam Haba for sure. Because
Is Rabbi Levitt, are you frozen or he's frozen?
Yep, he certainly is.
Hashem.
Okay, we're all working.
Okay. We're on. We're working. Okay, good. So let's go to the next paragraph. In truth, on page 429, we call upon Lou to continue. Please.
In truth, our sages said, a person is recognized by his wallet, meaning how he spends his money. Behold, it is true that the evil inclination of money is very strong, especially in this generation, which is a generation of money. People are more attracted to money than to all other sins and all other pleasures. Excuse me. The money of people is beloved unto them, to some even more than their body, to others even more than their soul. But this is the ideal for an upright man in this world. He must be a mighty warrior who conquers his evil inclination and who opens his eyes to see that money takes lives and gold causes grief. He must truthfully understand that it is better to die from hunger than to be a wicked man before God or to anger him. Heaven forbid. Only with strength. I think that's the end of that paragraph.
Okay, Ashikoya. And we hand it over to Roy to continue.
Only with strength will a man succeed to be mighty, a mighty individual who conquers his evil inclination. Money must not be of value to him at all when compared to the performance of the Creator's will. One should provide an outlet for his money to do the will of his Father in heaven. A person must believe with total faith, and it should be firmly affixed in his heart that the entire income of a person is determined in heaven. If someone will ascend to the heavens or descend to the depths, he will not be able to increase or decrease his earnings, even by a pruta, which is the smallest valued coin. This does not apply to the expenditures for mitzvahs and good deeds, which are not affixed. If a person spends more, then he is given even more to spend in a similar vein. A person can acquire his world with money by increasing his charity and increasing his mitzvahs and good deeds. He acquires a good reputation. He acquires Torah, and he acquires the world to come. There is an allusion to this, a play on Devar Torah, Ma'at Kanot. Money buys a world of Torah. This implies that money is required for all words of Torah and for all good things. Money can be a response to almost anything. A wise man is vigilant in all these matters, and he does not doze off. The end of the matter, all things being heard, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole of man. And that's in Kohelet 12:13.
Oh,
And that's it.
and that's the end. Okay.
That's one his nickname.
Yeah, they had a story in the Life of B'Tochen about somebody. He had 500 pairs of shoes. He said to somebody, "Okay, would you, I don't need these shoes." He said, "Oh, I'll take them." And he did some business with them. He found a buyer, and he says, "How much you want for the shoes?" And he says 12. And so the guy thought, "Oh, he means 12,000. He got back to him the other day, and he says, "I'll think about it. My offer is 10." And he says, "Well, okay, but then he realized that this person probably figures he thought he meant 12,000, and he says, "No, really, what I meant when I said 12, I meant $12 per shoe. So 12 times 500, we do a quick calculation, I think it comes up to $6,000. So he told him, "But really, you don't even owe me 12,000. You don't owe me 10,000. All that I was asking for was 6,000." So he was tremendously happy that he got such a great bargain. But he says the person that did the deal and only charged him 6,000. He says he was even happier because he realized that he's not going to get any extra penny from his profit if he doesn't do a correct, honest, keep to his word of what it was that he said from his mouth, even though the guy thought that he meant $12,000. So that's what it says over here. This is really a Gemara in Beitza, Tez Zayin Amud Aleph, and it says that everything is fixed from Rosh Hashanah. All the expenditures are fixed from Rosh Hashanah, except for it says two things, two mitzvahs, Hotzas Talmud Torah and Hotzas Shabbos Yontif. The expenditures that one makes for Shabbos and Yontif, and the expenditures that one makes to pay for one's children's education. And the poskim all say in other mitzvahs as well. So that's what the Pele Yoetz is saying over here. That we don't do any, we can't lose by doing the wrong thing, and we can't gain anything by doing the other way around. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, that's the story. Okay. Oh, 1 second. You know what? We did Kinui. We were in the middle of Kinui.
Yeah.
Didn't have it marked down.
We did that already. Yes.
Okay, so we did some chazorah on.
Money.
I guess we had a love of money. We wanted to go back to discuss the money. That's what the Pele Yoetz says. People love money more than anything. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna continue with Kinui. We were looking. The last thing we did, we looked up this Gemara in Bava Metzia, and let's hear. So I think we're up to page 430, the second paragraph. We have already heard.
That's
Alan,
correct.
Sure.
please read for us.
We've already heard a warning to be very careful when quoting the names of rabbis, not to call them by the titles. As a few people do who are accustomed to say Harav Karo, Harav Al-Shif, or Harav Al-Kazi, etc. Rather, a person must say Morinu Harav Yosef Karo, Morinu Harav Moshe Asher, etc. If there is a prohibition in regard to regular people, how much more so one must be careful in regard to our holy sages.
Let me take a look at the Hebrew over here. I'm not sure exactly what he's getting at over here. The difference between his title and whatever it is that he said over here. Kfar as Hara
I wonder
Shamanu.
about the Chavetz Chaim. I mean, we refer to him as the Chavetz Chaim, not as Rav Israel Meir.
Yeah, let me just read this in Hebrew. I just want to interested to see what they say over here. Kfar azhara shamanu li zaher beyoter bekriyas shem harabanim. So you have to be even more careful with the way we refer to rabbanim. Shelo likros osam. You should not call them according to their chanichosam. Commotion nogim, which we didn't really know what that meant. Commotion shenogim katsas lomer harav karo. Some people say harav karo. Okay. Harav al-shich, harav al-gazi, ukadoma. Ella, what should we yes say? Morenu harav Yosef Karo, Morenu harav Moshe Alshich. Im yesh iser bashar nashim alachas kama v'kama b'rabuseinu hakadoshim. So it seems that the Pele Yoetz is saying that if one refers to and here I would assume he's not talking about just the rab of the rabbi of a shul, but he's talking about like a leader of the generation, because all of these names that he's mentioned over here were leaders of their generation. Instead of calling, he just, that's what he says. He says that instead of just saying harav, that's not enough. You have to have another appellation. You have to have give him another kavod to Moreno basically means our master and rabbi.
And also the first name is included.
Oh, okay. Correct. Very interesting.
Does that mean that I shouldn't say hello, Rabbi Levitt? I should say hello, Rabbi Reuven Levitt?
No, he's talking again. He's talking about Rav Yosef Karo. You could. That's fine. So but I think I think it's important to say though that okay, he's talking about leaders of the generation. You have to give them a title called Moreno. Like if you were to mention, according to him, if you mentioned Rabbi Eliashiv, you shouldn't say Rabbi Eliashiv. You should say Morenu Harav Yosef Shalom Eliashiv. So this is not the custom. It's not the custom what he's saying over here, but he holds that this is the proper hanhaga, and the truth to be told, many times you will find that when a speaker will speak, if he first mentions Rabbi Elyashiv's name, he will say something like that. If there are those that are careful to do that. But what I want to point out is that even for a rabbi of a shul, if a rabbi of a shul is people talk about they don't even call him Rabbi so and so. They just call him Ploni. Greenbaum said so and so. If the name of the rabbi of the shul is Rabbi Greenbaum, don't call him Greenbaum. You have to call him Rabbi Greenbaum. He's the Rav of the shul. He deserves. One has to honor the fact that he has this title, and he has a position, and that's because he has that's what he is. He's not just an ordinary person. So people are not careful about this either. All sorts of people are not careful about it. So that's just one hosafa on this matter. But for example, when we mention in learning, when we're in the Beis Medrash and we talk about the greatest of the Tanoim and the Amoraim, what do we call them? Do we call them Morenu, Harav, Abaye? We just call him Abaye. People always ask, why do we just say Abaye? Why don't we say Rabbi Abaye, Rav Abaye? But this is for some reason which I never really got a good answer to. I don't know if I actually ever asked the question, because I saw that my teachers all referred to Abaya and Rava as Abaya and Rava. They didn't say Morenu Harav Hagon Hatzadik Hakodesh Abaye. They didn't say that. They just said Abaya says. So I also did the same thing, and it never occurred to me to say anything else, because if my teachers did it like that, so I do like that too.
Maybe they're a sign of affection or closeness.
Right? Like people refer to Reb Moshe Feinstein, Reb Moshe. Reb Moshe. That's this. You could call your neighbor also Reb Moshe. So there's a story about Reb Moshe that even there was I don't know, somebody, Reb Moshe was walking down the street and the person said Moshe, and Reb Moshe turned around and started walking towards the person. But that was the way that's Reb Moshe's hanhaga, but that doesn't mean that we can call him Moshe. But it is the case that people say Reb Moshe. They don't even say Rav Moshe. They say Reb Moshe. Like and that's what they say. That's what they say. So if that is what people say, I don't know if we need to do any different than that.
The difference between Reb, and Rav? Was it just a different way of saying? Or?
Well, the truth is that Reb is not is just like Mister.
Uh-huh.
Reb is the same thing as Mister. Rav means a rabbi. But
I'd like to say something.
Shalom Aleichem.
Aleichem Shalom, Aleichem Shalom. I just had.
This is Rabbi Levitt. This is Yosef. And
hi, Yosef.
This is Roy and Alan.
We've met.
Yeah.
Right. You met at the party. Yeah.
I was going to say that number one, there's two differences. One is that the Abaye has now become his name. So, like, if I were to say, I don't know, Rav Hagon, you might not even know who he's talking about, because it's known that it's Abaye, you know? So there's this, it might be that it just became such a common thing to call him that like, you know, and the second thing is that the difference I noticed is that they passed away. Everybody's in the Gemara, so he's not. And he was I think the person we were talking about is talking about someone who was alive, who was he's saying, you go up to him and you say, you know, hi pal, you know, rather than saying you shouldn't do that. You should say, you know, Rav Gon, you know, the name.
Okay.
So maybe this is not a they're with someone alive, which I think might be a difference because the covered to me is the covered of someone who's alive. He's going to feel it. He's going to be, you know, he might whatever. I don't know if he would be whatever, but the point is he might be someone could be offended. He's not alive. It's a little harder to be offended, and so the yeah. So that's what occurred to me on that.
Very good. Yasher Koyach. Yosef.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you for your contribution and wanting to participate.
They're coming more often.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe we'll make him a regular member of the shir.
Yeah, come. We every day you could come.
Thank you.
You're caught now. Now you've done it.
I'm imagining a fisherman. You know?
Okay.
Anyways, all right.
Very good. Good to see you.
You too.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yet, see, this is also an interesting thing. Someone who has recently passed away, we say, you know, Olav Shalom. That's the custom, or Zeichot Tzadik Livrocha. But people don't always when we talk about the people that passed away hundreds of years ago, people the Rav Shimon ben Gamliel. We say Olav Shalom, Zeichot Tzadik Livrocha. I think that this might be something that Yosef is referring to, that perhaps that there is a difference between people that are still in this world and people that are no longer in this world, and then people who have not been in this world for many years. And so all right.
Rabbi, we lost your picture. Now you're muted. We can't hear you.
Well, we'll just say good Shabbos anyway, I suppose.
Yeah, time is up anyway. It's 11:37.
Okay.
Right.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Right, good Shabbos.
Your internet.
Yes.
Oh yeah, now you can hear, but you can't see me.
Correct.
Okay. Everybody have a wonderful Shabbos.
And you too and your family, thank you.
All right, and
Amen.
normal schedule for Sunday with Rabbi Levitt.
B'ezras Hashem.
Okay, good Shabbos, everybody. Be well.
Shabbat
Good
shalom.
Shabbos.